Hello, first graders. Welcome to the fourth session of our book, Too Hot, Too Cold. This section of our book has the main heading, What We Do to Be Warm or Cool. And remember, we talked about this meaning what behaviors or what actions do people and animals do to make them warmer or cooler. Let's look at some of the subheadings to give us an idea of what behaviors animals and people have that help them cool down or warm up. First, before we do that, can you think of anything offhand? What do you do when you're hot? What are some things you do to cool yourself down? Can you turn and talk to mom or dad or brother or sister and tell them what you do on a hot day? What do you do to cool down? You probably said something like jump in a cool swimming pool, run through the sprinkler, take a cold bath. Yes, all of those things help us to cool down. And what do you do to warm up on a cold winter day? Can you turn and tell mom and dad or brother or sister what you do to warm up? Yes, you probably said something like eat something hot or drink something hot, like a mug of hot chocolate, right? After you come in from playing in the snow and you're freezing cold, maybe rubbing your hands to get them warm, right? Wearing warm clothing, putting thick socks on or slippers to keep your feet warm. All of those are ways to keep warm, or sitting next to the fireplace, sitting next to a heat source. That's a behavior that helps your body to warm up. Okay, let's look at the subheadings and see if any of these might be the same as the things that you said. Sunbathing, laying out in the sun, that's a subheading. Finding a cool breeze. There's another idea for how to cool down. A cool swim. And that sounds like what we said, right? About jumping in a cool pool on a hot day. A hot bath. And I didn't even think of that for a way to warm up. But some animals take hot baths. I guess you could do that to warm up. Out of the weather. What do you think that means? Out of the weather. Yeah, probably just going inside on a freezing cold day when you've been out playing in the snow for a long time. You get warm by going inside, right? Okay, so this is the part of the book that we're going to read in our fourth session. What we do to be warm or cool. Your behavior is another way you adjust your body temperature so that you are comfortable. Sunbathing. The sun is like a furnace in the sky. It warms the earth. It feels good to go out in the sun on a cool morning. Many animals like to sit in the sun to warm up too. Dark colors are good for absorbing the sun's heat. On cold mornings, vultures hold up their wide, dark wings and face the sun. So did you know that when you wear dark colors, that is a way that you're warmer? That's why in winter, a lot of the clothing that we wear in winter has dark colors, like black. You could have a black winter coat because black or dark blue or brown, all those dark colors help to absorb heat, and the vulture has black wings. So when it's cold, it spreads its black wings, and that black color helps to absorb the sun's heat. Okay, that is the lappet-faced vulture. Okay, this says reflecting the sun. Light colors reflect the sun and help keep an animal cool. The addax, an antelope that lives on the Arabian Peninsula, has a light-colored summer coat to help protect it from the hot desert sun. So some animals actually change the color of their fur from winter to summer. The addax has a darker coat in the winter, and then in the summer, its coat turns white so that it absorbs less heat and it can stay cooler. And that's why the clothes we wear in the summer are usually light colors, like white and light pink and colors like that, because they absorb less heat and help us to stay cooler. All right, finding a cool breeze. One way you can cool off on a warm day is by sitting in front of a fan. As cooler moving air passes your body, it takes away heat. Animals also like to find cool breezes on a warm day. Birds may perch at the top of a tree or on a windy cliff by the edge of the sea. So even though animals don't have fans like we do, they go up high where they can feel the breezes. Out of the wind. In winter, the wind makes the air feel even colder than the actual temperature. So just like a breeze in summer helps to make you feel cooler, wind in winter makes you feel even colder. We call this the wind chill factor. Then birds may perch under a ledge or find another protected place to stay warm. And this is the tufted duck, kind of under some grasses, trying to stay warm in the winter. A cool swim. Water can help you cool off on a hot day. You can take a cold shower, play in a sprinkler, or swim. The cool water on your skin helps lower your body temperature. Your body also cools off as it dries after you come out of the water. Animals like to cool off in water too. Water cools off the body much faster than air. A warm-blooded animal loses heat 25 times faster in the water than in air of the same temperature. And that's why on a hot day, it feels so good to jump into a cool pool, because it it cools your body down so much faster than just, going into the air-conditioned house. Jumping into that cool pool cools your body down 25 times faster. This says shower bath. This caption is entitled Shower Bath. Look at that elephant. What is he doing? He's taking a shower. He's drinking in water with his trunk and then spraying it on himself to cool down. Have you ever seen an elephant give itself a shower? As it squirts water over its back, its large body loses heat. And this is the African elephant. And here is the Hawaiian monk seal. Wet sand. Some animals keep cool by lying in mud or wet sand. On warm days in Hawaii, monk seals sometimes come off on shore to rest in wet sand. And that's how they cool off. Because sometimes the water even gets heated by the sun, the ocean. So they come to where the sand is wet and lay in it, and that helps them to cool down. A hot bath. Look at these monkeys. These are Japanese macaques. Water can also help you get warm. When you are chilled, a hot bath warms you up. In some parts of the world, natural hot springs are hot baths for animals. And remember, we learned about these hot springs when we read our nonfiction book about volcanoes. How volcanoes cause heat under the earth, and that heats the water and makes the water hot. And that's what these Japanese monkeys are doing. They're taking a hot bath in the volcano heated water. And here, this picture has the caption, hot steam. Okay, steam is water vapor. It's water in gas form. In Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, hot steam puffs out of the earth. Bison gather around these steam vents in winter to get warm. These are the American bison. It's a little bit hard to see. But they go next to these steam vents where this hot water in the form of gas comes out. And we also learned about that in our book about volcanoes, about the geysers in Yellowstone National Park. Where the steam comes out, that's called a geyser. Warm in winter. Oh, this is the caption for the monkeys, the Japanese monkeys. In cold weather, Japanese snow monkeys in the Nagano Mountains of Japan gather in pools heated by hot springs to 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that is one hot bath. That actually would not be safe for people. That would be too hot for you. But for the monkeys, it's good. 109 degrees. So we are going to stop. Oh no, we're not. We have 2 more pages. Okay. And then we're going to stop and talk about how animals' behavior helps them to cool off or warm up. Okay, this page has the subtitle, Out of the Weather. When it is too cold or too hot to stay outside, you go indoors. Many animals also seek shelter to avoid extreme temperatures. They may go inside a hollow tree, into a cave, or underground. Cold-blooded animals such as fish, frogs, snakes, and turtles have no internal way to keep warm during the winter. Instead, they find shelter in places that stay above freezing. Many reptiles go into holes or burrows. Fish may float at the bottom of a pond. A frog may find a damp place under leaves or mud. The animals cool down and spend the winter inactive or dormant. When spring comes, their bodies warm up and they become active again. Okay, so some cold-blooded animals become dormant. They hibernate. Remember we read Frog and Toad? And Frog was trying to wake Toad up. Toad was hibernating for the winter. Yeah, because Toad is cold-blooded. And that's one way that he can survive the winter. Right? And here we have the kangaroo rat. Nocturnal life. In hot climates, one way to avoid the heat is to stay inside during the day and go out at night when the air is cooler. The kangaroo rat, a small rodent that lives in the deserts of the western United States, comes out of its burrow only at night to hunt for seeds because it's just too hot during the day. So he stays in his little hole, his burrow, during the day. And here is the wombat, and he also has a burrow. Yeah, a cozy burrow. I'm gonna move this over. Wombats are ground-dwelling marsupials. Marsupials are animals that have pouches for their babies. Wombats are ground-dwelling marsupials that live in Australia. Their underground burrows stay cool and humid even on the hottest summer days. In winter, the temperature of the burrow rarely falls below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Whatever the weather, the wombats can be comfortable underground. Okay, so by staying underground during the summer, they have a nice cool place. And in winter, the burrow is warm. So going inside their burrow helps them to warm up during the winter and cool down during the summer. Okay, we are going to stop right here, first graders. We read a lot today. A lot of different ways that animals' behavior or actions help them to warm up and cool down. Think about one way that animals' behavior helps them to warm up and one way that an animal's behavior helps them to cool down. You can pick anything you want from what we read today. Let me just show you some pictures to help you remember. Okay, turn and talk to mom and dad or brother and sister and tell them one way animals' actions help them to cool off and one way their actions help them to warm up. Good job, first graders. I'll share what I was thinking of. I know we can't all share what we were talking about, but I will share what I was thinking of. I was thinking that elephants spray themselves with cool water in order to cool off, just like we jump in a cool pool on a hot summer day. And I was thinking that vultures spread their dark wings to the sun so that their dark wings absorb the sun's heat, and that's how they warm up. I'm sure you all had great ideas that you shared with mom and dad and other people who are near you. All right, we have one more short reading. I know this is a long book, boys and girls, but we have one more short reading, our 5th session, and then right after that, I am going to ask you a question on Flipgrid, like I did before, about the most interesting thing you learned. So we're going to do that in our 5th session, and then you can respond to me. I can't wait to hear your responses. All right, it was great talking with you. I will see you again soon. Bye.